Hello, everybody, and welcome all. My name is Birsu Küçük Yılmaz, and I'm an SAP EWM consultant at MDP Logistics, MDP Group Logistics team. Today, I'm going to talk about replenishment control. This webinar will contain two parts. In the first part, I will talk about the definitions of the replenishment on a presentation. And in the second part, that will be the demonstration part, I'm going to show you the planned replenishment and the automatic replenishment methods. And at the end, I would be so pleased if you share your thoughts, your comments, or any feedbacks with me via email or LinkedIn. So before we start with the topic, I would like to briefly introduce us as MDP Group and specifically logistics team, which I am into, so that we can cooperate with you to cope with your business's future needs. So, MDP Group consists of more than 16 business consultants specialized in their own fields, such as SAP EWM, TM, GTS, ABAP, Fiori, MFS, PIPO, Signavio, etc. And they are having served clients from a wide range of industries on an international scale. And now, as logistics team, we are working with more than 10 domestic companies and more than 7 international companies. We are cooperate with them to operate and optimize their warehouse processes with the solutions offered by SAP and MDP Group itself. And as logistics team, we provide services on SAP EWM, SAP TM, SAP GTS, and SAP Signavio modules. With our consultancy together, we can set up or support or develop your embedded or decentralized systems. When it comes to process design or automation or test design and execution, our team will be pleased to offer you technical support and key user trainings to reach up the most effective and beneficial solutions for your business. So if you need, you can contact us anytime with the information that I'm going to share with you at the end of the presentation. When it comes to today's agenda, our headers are replenishment control, replenishment strategies, replenishment transactions for the first part, and then we will continue with system demonstrations, and this will be the second part of the webinar. So, what is replenishment control? The replenishment is described as an internal movement in EWM. In general, after the goods receipts has been done, the stock is moved from the GR zone to the final bin with put away movements. But if the business's GR zone and the GI zone are in different physical locations, usually there is a need for an internal movement to carry the stock to the picking area. This picking area can be either a storage type or a fixed bin in EWM. Of course, you can meet this requirement with an ad hoc internal movement, but also you can do it in a more systematic way by giving the domains, the necessary informations to your system. And it calls as replenishment control. With replenishment control, you can feed up your picking area according to the demand for products. So, there are different replenishment strategies you can configure on EWM system, which are planned replenishment, automatic replenishment, order-related replenishment, direct replenishment, and crate part replenishment. In the demonstration side of this webinar, I am planning to show you the first two replenishment strategies, which are planned replenishment and automatic replenishment. But the direct replenishment and especially the credit card replenishment is another story. I'm going to talk about them briefly, but if you want more about this, please write me via email or LinkedIn so that we can arrange another webinar for them as well. Now, what is planned replenishment strategy? For planned replenishment strategy, we gave a maximum quantity and the minimum quantity information to the fixed bin or storage type. And after picking processes, if the remaining stock level in this specific fixed bin falls under the defined minimum quantity level, the replenishment triggered. This replenishment can be started in online or batch mode, and this means that the replenishment can be triggered by interactively or by a background job. The system rounds down the replenishment quantity to a multiple of the minimum replenishment quantity. In this case, the stock level could not exceed the maximum quantity level. We will analyze it in detail in the demonstration part. And the second one is automatic replenishment. The automatic replenishment is started during the picking warehouse task confirmation. It means after the picking confirmed by the picking task, if the stock level goes under the minimum quantity level, a replenishment task is created by the system automatically. Replenishment is calculated in accordance to minimum and maximum quantity. The system rounds down the replenishment quantity to a multiple of the minimum required replenishment quantity. The difference between planned and automatic replenishment is the automatic replenishment method is executed during the task confirmation. We will analyze it in detail in the demonstration part as well. And the third one is order-related replenishment. In this replenishment, the main concern is to meet the demand of the open outbound deliveries. The system checks whether the total amount of open warehouse requests can be met with the current stock level in the fixed bin or the storage type. If the stock level is under the required quantity, the replenishment is triggered. It can also be started by interactively or by a background job, just as the planned replenishment. And the replenishment quantity is rounded up to a multiple of the minimum replenishment quantity. And after the replenishment quantity, and the replenishment quantity rounded up, so it can be exceed the maximum quantity level can be exceed with the replenishment. Okay, so I will show you this features flag in the demonstration. And to differentiate the movements to count for replenishment, you need to flag the rough bin determination in the warehouse option, which is under the process type configurations. And the other one is direct replenishment. As you see in the right side of the presentation, a picker goes through the fixed bin to pick up the material and realizes that the fixed bin is empty. So he or she enters the internal process code replenishment on their RF devices. Then a warehouse task shows up in the picker's RF screen for the replenishment from the main storage type to the replenishment storage type. And after refill, the materials become ready to pick. For the direct replenishment scenario, it is important that the main storage type and the replenishment storage type are close to each other. Otherwise, it will not be effective. And the system must have found the stock in the permitted storage types. The other key point is direct replenishment only possible for fixed bin scenario, unlike other replenishment scenarios. And RF usage is a must for this replenishment type. The system calculates the replenishment based on maximum and the minimum quantity. It assumes that the quantity at the storage type is equal to 0. The system rounds down the replenishment quantity to a multiple of the minimum quantity as well. And the final one is create part replenishment. Let me briefly start with what is create part, okay? In ECC side, production order does not include any information about how the material will be staged. It is decided on EWM side accordance of product or product group. There are 3 staging types to feed up production supply area. These are single order staging, cross order staging, and create part staging. And there is another option as not relevant for staging as well. Create parts needs to be packed before going to the production supply area, so it needs an intermediate step for packing in the related work center. Process-oriented storage control is used for this purpose. Picking, packing, and staging steps are follows each other. And when we say create part replenishment, it contains all these 3 steps. And create part replenishment starts with when the stock level in the production supply area falls below the minimum quantity. The quantity is calculated based on replenishment quantity or the number of the containers to be replenished. The replenishment can be tracked with SCWM REPL transaction. So, this was the first part of the webinar. We end up with presentation and general ideas about replenishment. Now, we will continue with the system demonstration. And please don't hesitate to contact us for your any comments or feedbacks or ideas. And thank you for this part. Let me continue for the demonstration part. Let me unshare my screen just for a second and open my SAP system. And I am resharing my screen again. Okay. Now, as you remember, I'm going to present the plant replenishment and automatic replenishment in this part, and we start with plant replenishment. So first things first, I will go into the monitor screen to check the available stock of the TEW15 products, which I define it for the plant replenishment. And I see some stocks here. I will deal with available stocks. So I am filtering these stocks here. Okay. And now there is a replenishment storage type with the specified fixed bin, and my goods issue zone, there are 25 pieces, and my main storage types, there are other pieces in here in the available stock. So I am now in this replenishment storage bin. There are 90 pieces available stock here. So let me click on this storage bin, and fixed bin type is defined as 1, which means that fixed storage bin for products. Okay, so I'm copying this storage bin and going to do SEWM bin mat transaction. and I am pasting this storage bin to the related area and executing it. Okay, so here for the product TEW15, there is a specified fix bin RPL1 fix 01 storage bin with the minimum quantity 70 and the maximum quantity is 110. Okay, and let me copy the product and go to the master data of this product, to the SEWM MAT1 transaction, and displaying the storage type data section. For this RPL1 storage type, the minimum quantity is 70 pieces, the maximum quantity is 110 pieces, just as bin mat transaction, and the minimum replenishment quantity defined as 30 in here. So again, I go back to my monitor screen and I see that the available quantity in the replenishment storage type is 90. So I am in between the minimum quantity and the maximum quantity. So if I go to the SCWM REPL transaction and write the related fix bin here, when I'm executing it, I expect that no replenishment will be suggested by the system, okay? Because I am not under the minimum quantity level right now. So no replenishment to execute, it says, like we expect. So I go back here and create a warehouse task for 30 pieces, okay, with my picking process type to the GI zone, and I'm creating warehouse task here. Okay, my warehouse task number is here. I'm taking it, and in the monitor screen, I'm pasting this warehouse task here and I'm executing it. And confirm warehouse task in the background, okay? This picking warehouse task. Okay. So once more, I'm go back to available stock for the TEW15 product, and I see that now I am 60 pieces available stock in my replenishment process type. So I am under the minimum quantity level. And I go back to the REPL transaction with this fixed bin and I'm executing it. Now I expect that system offers me a replenishment type with the Y310 process type, which is defined in the system, and with the minimum replenishment quantity level, which is defined in the master data of the product here, to the fixed bin which I specified before. And if I select the line and execute it, the replenishment warehouse task is created by the system, okay? So I'm going to warehouse task in the monitor screen again, and I'm executing it, and I will confirm it in the background. So let me check once more the available stock of my product with the true storage stock type. Now I am 90 pieces in my replenishment storage type, and the planned replenishment is done here. Okay, so let me jump up to the automatic replenishment now. For the automatic replenishment, I defined as TEW11 products here. And let me sort the bins here. Okay, this storage bin is defined as a fixed bin for this TEW11 products. Okay, and let me quickly click on it, and it says fixed bin, its fixed bin type is equal to 1, fixed storage bin for products, and I am copying it, and I am going to bin mat transaction again, and pasting it and execute the bin mat transaction. Now for this specific TEW11 product, this storage bin is a fixed bin, and with the minimum quantity level 100 and the maximum quantity level 200. And for the product's master data, I'm displaying the storage type data here. I see that the minimum quantity level and the maximum quantity level here as well. And the minimum replenishment quantity is 50 pieces defined in here. Okay, so once more, I'm go back to the monitor screen, and I see that in this specified fixed bin, I'm already under the minimum quantity. There are 30 pieces available stock here. So I create a warehouse task for example, 5 pieces with the picking process type to the GI zone. Okay, I'm creating the warehouse task here, and I go back to the warehouse task, I delete it, and I will search up with the creation time this time. Okay, I executing it. This is my related warehouse task with TEW11 product. Okay, now I expect that when I just confirm this warehouse task, I wanted to see that a warehouse task with replenishment movement, which is created by the system automatically itself. Okay, I am confirming it now. Okay, and now there is the replenishment. There is a warehouse task with replenishment activity with Y310 process type from the main storage types to the replenishment storage type to the specific fixed bin with the quantity of 150, which is the multiple of the minimum replenishment quantity. It's not that, it was this one. Yes, 150, multiple of the minimum replenishment quantity. So if I confirm it in the background, I'm done with the automatic replenishment as well. So before we end up with the demonstration, I will go back to the SAP EWM REPL transaction, and I wanted to briefly to tell you this transaction very shortly. In this area, plant replenishment, order related replenishment, and create part replenishment radio buttons, we played with the plant replenishment. So we use this location and product area for searching for a product or storage bin or storage type criteria as well. And for the if you work on the order-related replenishment, you can use this area because it contains of outbound delivery-related criteria here, like goods issue date, peak horizon date and time, etc. And for the additional settings, in the for the first one, do not consider minimum quantity is about plant replenishment. Let me explain it with an example. For example, let's assume the fixed beans minimum quantity is 70 and the maximum quantity is 90, and the minimum replenishment quantity is defined as 30, okay? So if the stock level drops down to 65, the gap between the current stock and the maximum quantity is 25, which is under the minimum replenishment quantity. So if you click on the this flag, okay, the system allows you to make a replenishment with amount of 25 amounts, okay, and even if it is under the 30. So these two are filled to maximum quantity and exceed maximum quantity is about order-related replenishment. And if you click on the fill the maximum quantity for the products that are relevant to replenishment, the system performs an order-related replenishment in such a way that the maximum quantity of the product is always reached in the storage bin or the storage type. And the last one is exceeds maximum quantity. If the total amount of open warehouse request quantity, which is defined as the required quantity, as you remember from the presentation, is the larger than the maximum quantity of a product in the storage bin or storage type, replenishment take place over and above the maximum quantity. Okay, so this is all from me. Thank you so much for your attendance. I hope to see you all in our next webinar on 6th of June. Okay, the topic will be frequently asked questions. Ali Eren will accompany me. This webinar is going to be in Turkish, but you can always ask your questions in English. The records will be prepared with the subtitles as well. So thank you. See you. Bye-bye.